Hey there, Boots Owen here. Time for a quick update video. Hopefully this one's quicker than the last one, from my point of view. If nothing else, this is the Lamona LAM8900, and it appears to be working, and that's because it's been a successful day today. This machine is working. It was brand new, I reckon, and left out in the street because the kitchen fitters couldn't get it to go, and it was probably replaced under warranty. And all that was wrong with it was one little dab of solder on the motor control board. It has one of those three-phase induction motor fellows, and I reckon it left the factory with a fault that maybe wasn't apparent yet. And anyways, just good luck, and I managed to find the fault, so there'll be a video about that. But as it stands, this one seems to be working in the garage at the moment, which is it's suffering, this garage, from me trying to get a smoker to work. Come out here. More success out here. We've just passed a White Knight spinner there. We'll have a look at that in a moment. So I found this a couple of weeks ago, made a video of it, but you can see now the little chimneys have smoke coming out of them. It seems to be working. I managed to bodge an element into it, and I think there'll be a video on that as well. I think I've made enough of a video of that. So I'm conditioning it at the moment, which means running it without any food in it. But this is how I've got it to go. This is a PID controller. So the I either stands for integral or the D stands for differential or something like that. But you see the flashing red light inside is a solid state relay, which I've never used before. It's not a relay, solid state module. It turns on and off the power really quickly. And this fellow here is the PID with the letters, the numbers on it. And so I've set it to run for 135, and for some reason it's 140. And I've wired it up in that box because that's one that I have. It came free with some solar panels quite some time ago. There's the drip tray down the bottom. I've left all the old electrics so you can still interrogate it to see the temperature of the meat if you plug both in at the same time. But really the other one doesn't use much. So the only thing it really needs is for me to make a loading door for that, or paying £8 for one on the internet. Oh dear, I could spend hours trying to save £8, you know. The other success of the week, thanks to Balfi, who came up with the goods, gave me the will to tackle it, is this Indesit, which was with Where's Wally 606 for a while, and it developed a earth leakage fault, and it turned out to be a wire rubbing inside, and it was just good luck that I managed to spot it, because I took off the side and was looking at the board seemed fine and whatnot. There's a video up of that already, which you may well have seen at this point. So it's going now, and that's great. So another repair. We got the Lamona fixed, we got the Indesit fixed. That fellow's still up there. Hot Point Aquarius, it's going fine. The Beko, I said that the door was the fault, so if I go to close that door, it doesn't want to close. Balfi said this fellow was loose here, maybe put a nut and bolt on it, but it's not the problem. It's the door is loose there about the top hinge here. So I think it's got a little plastic bush on the bottom. Might be possible to swap the bushes. It has screws, so the door should come apart. Whether I can be bothered is another issue. It's not new, it's not clean. What would it be? Looking at the front of it, 61431, I don't know, 5 or 8 years old, something like that. There it is, 13. It could be 11 years old. Serial number 13 dash, could be 11 years old. So yeah, I'm not too fussed about this one. And also I've managed in transit, either I broke it, I think this piece was already broken, and I think it's in there, and then this piece broke today when I was moving it again. You could just put it back in place, depends on where you're running it. Does anybody want an 11-year-old Beko? We've talked about this the last time. Can I be bothered selling it? I don't know. Right, so that's kind of the success update for the week. 8 freights, chaos generally. I've tidied up a bit. Oh, the upset of the week was that Bosch that was outside over there, the 1600 spin Bosch. A commenter reminded me that it was loud on the spin, which is a sign that I think the spider was on its way out. I think the bearings were okay, but the spider was on its way out. When I went to touch something else, I was bringing something past it, and it was on this green trolley, but it was, I don't know, leaning to the front, and it just toppled over and whopped its face. And so I've kept the motor, the control board, and brought the rest of it to the recycling, because I don't want to care about it. I don't want to try and sell it for 30 quid, and nobody wants a machine when they understand that the bearings are on their way out or the spider's on their way out. People don't want these things, and I'm not about to get in their way. Then maybe this is the last bit of this video. Over here, white knight. A little spinner with green at the bottom because it's been left out in the garden for a long time. We'll talk about this fellow in a sec. So in there, it's pretty grim. I plugged it in, didn't go. You're just meant to turn that on like that, and clunk, it's meant to go, I think. It didn't go, so whether I do anything with that or not, I don't know yet. I might give it a bit of attention, but I don't know if I really want to. Then lastly, this fellow, I found this on the road, and you can see how big it is compared to my hand. It's bigger than my hand. A typical car brake pad would be about that size. Maybe a bit bigger, depends on if you've got an SUV or not. I know the ones in my car are quite big, more like a van size because it's a people carrier. Small cars would have quite a small set of pads. This is a disc brake pad. If you can see down along there, it's a bit bent, but it's out of a wagon. Now, that's metal that would have been rubbing on the disc. These are the rivets that hold the asbestos or whatever the fibre material in place. This was on the street just down the road from my house. Now, it may have buckled from being driven over, but I seriously doubt it. I reckon this was in the wagon, getting super hot, and that wagon is going down the road now with no brakes, and that's just crazy. I don't know how to make a better video of that, but it's a public service announcement. Like, that's just massive, you know? 8 or 10 inches, 8 inches long, I'd say, maybe 9. And that's just driving down the road. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Oh yeah, one more thing. Just one more thing. Found this fellow last week in a dustbin. I was up to my old tricks again. I think it's for making naan bread. Because it's got a flat surface. There's an element under that surface and there's an element in the lid. It has a plug that has a blue and a red wire going to it. 2.5mm, if you believe that. It has a 3-pin plug on it, but no earth. No earth there. That comes to here. There's a big block, big ceramic block, and there's another ceramic block below. And that's it. It gets hot, it actually works, but the surface of it is quite buckled, so I don't know. I guess it would still work fine. Give it a clean up. You could make some, I think it's for naan bread. If you know what that is, tell me about it in the comments, because I've not seen one of these before. It's just a bit of aluminium with 2 elements. Real simple. The kind of thing I reckon you'd see in one of those super sped up videos of, you know, small backyard places on YouTube making things. I reckon it's like that. That's what I reckon. Still inside. That hasn't moved. You can see nothing else has moved. I found a bandsaw. Have to get a blade for it. Found it. I saw a guy clearing out a shed. He pulled a 600cc motorbike that had been in a wet shed for 10 years out of the shed. A Suzuki, I think a GSXR. I didn't. It's only down the road from my house. But he pulled this out too, and he said, "You can have that." And I thought, yeah, I'll take that. And plugged it in. I think it needed a fuse in the plug or something along those lines, but it needs a blade, and that's the bigger issue. Handy for chopping things up. That's what I want it for. Chopping up stuff to put in the smoker, really. Lamona is on a cotton wash. 40 degrees, 1400 spin, and it seems to be working. So it's been a successful week in 8.5 minutes. Questions or comments, leave them below. Hello to the members and subscribers. You know who you are. It's been a good week. I think it's been a good week. I'm exhausted after it. Questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. See you later.